Hello everyone, welcome back to the Apex Motorsport. My name is Richard Smyth and this is another episode of Paddock Talk. We just had round 6 of the 2021 British GT Championship here at Snetterton, and I think it's time we take a little walk through the paddock to recap the race. And we're going to start here at the Beechstein AMR team, this lovely Aston Martin number 7, driven by Andrew Howard and Johnny Adam. They started in 3rd place, a pretty decent qualifying session for them, but they finished in 6th. Probably slightly disappointed. They did have a 5-second success penalty going into this race from the position in race 1, which was 4th place. I'll explain a little bit later on why a 4th place team got a 5-second success penalty. But the result in race 1 did put Andrew Howard on 100.5 points. Obviously Johnny Adam missed the round at Spa-Francorchamps. It was Ross Gunn who replaced him when they went on to win the race, and it puts them joint second teams championship going into the race. I haven't quite worked out the team orders after the checkered flag fell here today. We'll update you across social media when that does come out. I think we'll move on to our next car, which is the Fox Motorsport, the number 40 car. This is driven by Nick Holstead and Jamie Stanley. They qualify in 23rd overall and they finished 6th in their class. They finished 17th in race 1, which was 8th in their class, so I think they'll be pretty happy with that, given probably the team that has one of the lowest budgets across the series. Then we're going to move on to our race winners, the Ram Racing number 6, driven by Ian Logie and Yelma Berman. They qualified 2nd place, but like I said, they did go on to win. They obviously had a puncher early on in race 1, but they were able to put that behind them to go on and claim the race victory. Then we have the number 27 Newbridge Motorsport car, I think my favourite on the grid. It's driven by Matt Topham and Jamie Stanley. And race 1 they finished 18th and they had a pretty decent session as well. I think they'll be pretty happy with that. Then we move on to the BMW's Ascension Motorsport, a team which I actually forgot to cover yesterday, so I do apologise to them for that. This is the number 9 car, driven by Chris Stolstead and Andrew Gordon Colebrook. They qualified 24th, and in race 1 they finished in 22nd, as Craig would have informed you earlier on. But this car over here, the number 57, this is the one that's usually fighting for race wins, podiums, and Will Burns and Goss Burton, I think, will be pretty happy. But they did have a stop and go penalty with around 18 minutes left in race 1, or actually it was race 2, sorry. So I'm sure they'll be disappointed with that. I'm sure if they had time to appeal it, the outcome might be slightly different. Qualifying 16th, but in race 1 they did finish 2nd, so they've had a pretty decent day, but the drive through I'm sure will have effect for race 2, not the way we would have liked. Then we have the number 18 WPI Motorsport, the red Lamborghini, driven by Mike Igo and Phil King. In race 1, as Craig would have said earlier, they finished 7th, so I'm sure they'll be hoping that they can improve going forward. There's only 2 rounds left of the season. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's three races left, only 2 more events, so if they're going for this championship, it's going to be very tight to win it. Then we move on to the GT4 winner. It is the Academy Motorsport Ford Mustang, Matt Cowley, Will Moore. It's a lovely car. I think we should just appreciate how nice this is. It's not every day you see a Ford Mustang win a GT race, and in fact they have struggled as of late. They finished 20th in Silverstone and 9th in Spa, and that's only 2 races they finished this season, so I think they will be happy to get this first GT4 victory. Big confidence boost going into the final few events of the season. Then we move over to the team that actually won race 1 earlier on. It is the 97 Oman Racing with TF Sport, Ahmed Aharti and Charlie Eastwood. They qualified in 6th after Charlie Eastwood's P6 6th place finish in qualifying during yesterday. They got up to 4th place and they had to serve a 10-second success penalty due to their victory earlier on today. And the reason why a team had to finish 4th place, got that penalty, is because this is a one-off entry, and the way it works is that only teams that are in for the entire season get championship points. So to make it fair, the team that finished 4th got the 3rd place points, meant that Calvin Fletcher and Martin Plowman from Paddock Motorsport, they got the entire race victory points worth, but they also got the 10-second success penalty as well. So with these one-off entries, it's reflective of the entire season that they can't have 20 one-off entries turn up for one event, take all the championship points. The teams that are in for the full season are rewarded with these, and ultimately are going for the title at the end of the season. Then we move on to the McLaren trio of cars, or rather duo, as one of them have already been packed up in Paddock. The car you're not seeing there is the number 2. Has already been packed away. You have seen that earlier on Craig's episode. They qualified in 3rd, finished 4th, but the car Craig is currently showing you now is the number 3, who actually finished in 3rd place, qualified in 5th. They'll be pretty happy with that. And then we have the number 4 of Harry Hayek and Katie Milner, who qualified in 9th place and then ended up getting 7th place overall. Then we have a couple of empty garages down here, so I'm going to have to do a bit of talking till we get down to the Barwell Motorsport team. The track earlier today, there's a big downpour in between sessions. The GB3 race earlier today was declared wet, but most of the drivers are actually out on dry tyres. And that was the same here. It was a big heavy downpour, but as things dried up within the first few laps, the track was near enough bone dry. This is the final team we're going to show you. It is the Barwell Motorsport team. They have two cars. The number 1, as you can see there, that's Adam Ballance and Sandy Mitchell's. And they actually finished 2nd overall. They were actually, though, they weren't in pole position, because that was the car over here. It was number 63 of Dennis Lind and Leo Machiski. I thought they were going to be strong going into this race. They dropped a few positions on the first lap, and they only could recover to a disappointing 5th place, I would say, for them, given they're fighting for the championship. There's a few more cars sitting over here. I see a Janetta over there. They went out early on, and I think that's one of the Janetta cars. But yeah, that, I think, is going to bring an end to this episode of Paddock Talk. Next time out is in Alton Park, track I've never been to, and I don't really know much about, so it'll be interesting to see how the GT cars do on that. The championship battle is really hotting up now, with only so few rounds remaining. So it will be interesting to see come Alton Park, and then we have a Donington Park finale. Going back to Donington Park, where we were there last time, or not last time out, last time I was in Spa. The time before, last time on British soil, was at Donington Park. So it'll be interesting to see what the teams have learned from that, and whether or not there'll be any one-off entries going in to the final few races of the season. So that's going to wrap up this video, and we'll hope you all join us for the next one. Goodbye.